Corporation Board of Directors is hereby called to order. The board states for the record that the board of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation did hold an executive session prior to the meeting pursuant to IC 5-4-1.5.6. We certify that the items discussed were related to information concerning issues that were posted on our executive session notice. An executive session was held prior to the meeting pursuant to IC 5-14-1.5-6.1. We certify that the items discussed were related to the information posted for our executive session notice. If we all could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
President Goffin.
Present.
Secretary Williams.
Present.
Member McKenzie. Member Ruby.
Present.
Member Baker. Member Johnson.
Present.
That is a total of 4 members.
Secretary Williams.
Secretary Williams.
Oh, okay, you did, okay.
Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie doesn't feel well, he was present earlier.
Okay.
He went home?
Yeah, he said
Oh.
he's going to
Yeah.
sit.
Guess I missed that.
Thank you. Okay, so that's 4 members present.
We have a quorum. At this time, we will entertain a motion on approval of the board meeting minutes dated March 5th, 2026. Second.
Who was the first?
So, Mr. Ruby, move, we need a second.
My second.
It's been moved and properly second for the approval of the board meeting minutes dated March 5th, 2026. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin.
Yes.
Secretary Williams.
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries. This time I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the GPTC General Check Register Schedule dated March 1st through 31st, 2026.
My second. Or
So moved.
so moved.
Yes, second. It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin.
Yes.
Secretary Williams.
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
That's a total of 4 yeses.
Motion carries. This time I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the GPTC Metro Center Check Register Schedule dated March 1st through 31st, 2026. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin.
Yes.
Secretary Williams.
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
4 yeses.
Motion carries. At this time, hopefully she can hear us. We will turn over to our interim general manager as we begin our departmental reports. Can she hear us? We were having some technical difficulties, so we will hear from finance. Is she able to-
She is. I think she's speaking. She's speaking now.
Okay. Can she hear us? Can you hear us, Ms. Dillard?
I can hear everything you're saying, yes.
Right. All right. You got it done.
All right.
We couldn't hear you at first. Okay. Go ahead, Ms.
Okay. Yeah, with respect to your time, it's almost 7:30, and to the staff, I'm gonna go straight to finance report.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the board. The last time we left here, we were talking about the insurance, so I'll start with that. If I recall right, Mr. Ruby asked a question about the difference between the budgeted amount and the bill for insurance. The budgeted amount is always an estimate based upon the best information available at the time we do the projection. It's never going to be 100%. Looking at the final bill, the budget estimate it's 96.3% accurate based upon what the final bill came down to. Therefore, the difference is only 3.6 or 3.7%. So I think, given those statistical facts, the estimate being 96.3% accurate is a pretty good estimate from the outset, based upon what the final bill came to. Now, to help us get there, our broker negotiated and got us down with a $50,000 credit. Otherwise, it would have been $98,000 differently around numbers. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's what happened in terms of the negotiation. Whenever we negotiate with our insurance companies, we're not going to know the exact amount of the premium cost up front. It's based upon our record and their best guesstimate of what they're going to do internally. Likewise, what was going on in Washington in terms of the administration not advancing or forwarding the Obamacare package, and insurance was projected to go sky high anyway. Our original estimate for increase was 24%. We got it down to 15% through negotiation with our broker, and then she negotiated a $50,000 reduction of credit in our bill.
So what is the total number?
The total bill is $1,317,504. $1,317,504. It's in your packet.
Yeah.
That was for how many employees?
Just the summary sheet is in your packet, not the whole policy.
Okay. And that's for how many employees?
Approximately 84.
Okay. So
I think they got the cost per member was $1,043.10. Is that the cost per participant? I think that PM, I go to my resident professional on the insurance over here. Is that what that means?
Because I'm seeing.
You can't find,
Per member per month. I look like.
yeah, per member per month. Okay, the cost per member per month is $1,043.10.
so that's 15,000 a year for the insurance. Okay.
Well, it depends on what you got, family coverage, single coverage. It depends on, like I got family coverage. Okay.
I mean, overall average isn't bad.
So it looks like. Because what I'm looking at here, last year's cost. This is where it says United Healthcare effective date January 1st, 2025.
Mhm.
This is last year's cost here.
Is that the package Ms. Scott gave you?
Yes.
It may, that's the policy from last year, so you don't have the current year's detailed policy. I just gave you the summary sheet to answer Mr. Ruby's question that he raised last time. Yeah, so yeah, that's the last year's detailed policy.
Okay, so at least we can
Okay.
compare last year's to this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
When
Give us-
she-
give
when
us
she
that
requested the
percentage
quote.
one more time.
big part,
total percentage increase,
15%,
15%.
yeah,
Right. So,
down from 24.
And the,
and it's our
previous year
understanding
was
that it was
10.8.
supposed to be 24%, but we actually had to
Projection.
negotiate it to 15.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the year before that, it was a 10.8% increase.
yeah, so it's a little bit under 5%. When you take the 10.4 from the 15, it's a little bit
Right.
under 5%.
Considering inflation.
Sounds about right.
Okay, we go on to the next one, our agent schedule, which shows our outstanding bills. Now, the reason I provided this for you because Ms. Scott Henry is always asking for the balance sheet. Again, we are suffering technical difficulties with our AccuFund software. And I know that may sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm glad the attorney is here tonight because she can back me up on this. she's the attorney for the library, and they have the same software, and they're having the same problem. And AccuFund is slow to respond. But I'm working with Mr. Whitaker, who is assisting us. He has found a young lady that has the expertise to help us solve this problem, and he is working with his firm, working with the library right now. So we're going to piggyback off of him to help get the solutions we need to correct our software. It appears, based upon conversation with AccuFund, Michael Anthony is the representative we're dealing with right now, is that our system was not completely set up the way it was supposed to be when it was first installed. So we're making those corrections. And I just didn't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, making excuses about why we can't do that. It just so happened God was good. She's familiar with that same situation that's happening at the library. And the person who had this change to this software was in both places. Okay, and that's not to cast aspersions on anybody, but it's followed from there to here. So what you're looking at in this report is the agent schedule, and it shows that we have $430,520 outstanding in payables at this March 31st. And it shows across the board what the percentages are. The amounts highlighted at the bottom is a disputed claim with Heritage Crystal Clean, and that's being turned over to the attorney. And I gave her all the information. These are disputed charges. We disagree to the amount of those charges are like $122,000 and $832. So now, when you subtract that from the total that's being reported, that brings our total outstanding liabilities to $307,687. Current cash on hand over to the left is like $990,556, and I did a little ratio here for you to show that based upon our total bills outstanding and the amount of money we have, we can pay our bills 3 times. And we have a 3-to-1 ratio. We got enough money to pay our bills at least 3 times. So if you know anything about balance sheets or anything, anytime you can pay your current liabilities by that amount, you have cash at presently on hand to handle your outstanding debt.
You have a 1/4 surplus.
Okay? So that's basically my report. I hope I addressed the issue Mr. Ruby raised the last time, and I'll entertain any other questions. I'll say this: we are making significant headway with FTA. All of our grants are basically active. We had this reporting period, which ended on the 31st of March. We started our reporting for that period doing our FFRs and MPRs. We did part of them today with our representative from FTA, Mr. Darrell Hopper. And for the first time, and Mr. Wright has said this, our grant situation is very strong. Our leader, Ms. Dillard, has put a resolution before the county council to seek $16 million for the next 4 years, $4 million a year. And when we get that approved, and I believe it's going to be approved, we will turn the corner and be able to start this agency down the right path going forward from this point on. So that's my report for today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Mr. Other, you, oh, all right.
Did you lose them?
Procurement.
Good evening. Good evening.
For the procurement report for the month of February.
In February, we completed the Metro Center interior painting project. We also awarded the second floor bathroom renovation. That's the overview. Execution of the garage door repairs. Finalization, which we paid off the 9 buses that we leased from Midwest Transit. We paid them off March. Right, we paid them off, so the buses are ours. They was $1 buyout. We leased them for, I think it was $62,000 a month.
This has to do with you, but will probably have to be answered by somebody from maintenance or operations. But out of all of those buses, how many of them are currently running?
That would be the maintenance.
Right. Okay, nobody's got that answer today. 'Cause I know we have several buses now.
You done got really hot, look at him. Okay.
All right, I can get that later. Please continue.
Well, I did want to know about the garage door repairs. Are you referring to at the bus depot?
Yeah,
And that's both garage doors?
it's 10 garage doors.
Okay, because I
So
know that
all of the ones across the.
All the one.
all of them have been repaired.
We're repairing them.
Oh,
We
you're
should order.
you're currently repairing
Repairing
them. Okay, do you know the timeline for that?
I talked to the company this week,
Okay,
and we are scheduled for next week for the parts and etc. to be in.
okay. I'm really concerned with the door that goes to the bus wash. Those doors.
Now, it was temporarily repaired until we do the overhaul, the upgrade, I should say.
Okay.
I know they had problems with it up and down,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and they had to do it manually.
Yes.
So we did have a company to come out to try to assist make those repairs.
Mm-hmm.
They only did it temporarily until we can do the upgrade.
Okay, so this, what you did with the executive execution of garage door repairs,
Mhm.
that doesn't include that door though.
Yes, it does.
It does.
It does.
Even though it was not really a solution, it's just that.
Well, I was not aware that it was down again because we had just had it repaired about beginning of February.
Okay.
No one reported that it was down again.
Okay.
But I'm sure they did not because we were expecting the parts from Crawford Doors because they were going to do their complete upgrade, installing new operation sensors and the motors.
Okay.
In the sense, yeah, I say the sensors.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's speak on the bathroom renovation here at, on the second floor. We're still in the process of doing that. They're working on the men's bathroom. We had to do it's not in my report, but we did a change order. Because once they tore down once he got started, there was a blank wall that was in there, and they had some plumbing problems, so they had to tear down the blank wall, and then they're just gonna reconfigure that. So we did a $9,500 renovation on that. We completed the radios, mobile radios, and the portable radios installed on all buses and in the facility. You have the amount in there for $28,406. We also secured IT management services this month. Through the competitive RFP process. And that is going to consist of networking, cybersecurity, and building up the infrastructure where we can communicate better. So
Do you have a cost for that?
the cost for the mobile radios was $28,406.
Oh, I'm
The
sorry. I'm
IT
looking at the
service is like an
service.
open end type bid. They're gonna bid us according to our service hours to bring us up to speed. And Mr. Burton will discuss that in his report in more detail. We are also in the process of securing well, I spoke on the leasing already. Securing, financial audit services. We went out for RFP on that. I have, recommendation for the board. It's a 3-year contract with 1-year option. The price for it is $54,500 each year. They increase $1,500. So the overall contract would be it would be 200,000, approximately 200,000. I didn't do the full year.
What was that for?
That's for
Auditing, bro.
The audit, financial audit service.
It's on the last page. Well, on that last page, you can-
But it should be in my, okay, the 3 years is $168,000. And then the additional year will come to, 200, over 200,000. Any questions?
So you,
Okay, is it,
Yeah, we went, oh,
I put yellow stickers up there every time.
if you have a copy of the recommendation, the analysis for the financial services.
That's
is
the
in the
group health
recommendation.
insurance,
transit buses,
collective bargaining agreement.
So I haven't presented
The contract.
for the buses. We are in the process of, well, no. We had a $6.4 million grant that had to be spent by March 31st. In that grant, we're purchasing 2 35-foot hybrid low floor buses, 3 35 battery electric buses. The total for purchase is 6,290,000. It's a piggyback purchase. Piggyback means that we're going off for another company's or another agency's bid that they've already bid it out. So we are piggybacking off of them in order, because we didn't have enough time to get it out. Get the RFP, put it out in the newspaper. The newspaper has to take 30 days. So we didn't have enough time, so we elected to go to Gilly, purchasing off of the Washington Department of Enterprise Services contract.
I have a couple questions. I would like to know if that was the only company that you were able to look into to see what their contract was Gillett and Washington.
Well, when you
Yeah.
piggyback,
Uh-huh.
the company that you choose, which is the Washington State contract, you have to get approval from them in order to purchase off of their contract in order to bid. The company that we choose, because we have Gillett buses, we're trying to standardize. So the only they gave us a layout or the bidding process they went through. There was about 5 companies
To borrow, but
that submitted bids to the Washington State. And I didn't bring it with me, but I can give you that information, showing you how much each company bid for each product, each different type of product, because it was like 5 different types of buses.
Okay.
The diesel, the hybrid, the electric, the CNG, and there was another.
Was it LNG?
Which one?
Was LNG the other one?
I'm not really sure.
and, another question that's come up, how long have we known about this grant?
That it was coming out by the March 31st deadline.
I was only made aware of that about a month ago.
Who knew before you? Who made you aware?
My director.
The team, we have,
team.
based on our, weekly meetings, we discussed our situation as, the status of our, grant.
Can you hear me at this point?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble being on, but I can hear you guys clearly.
Okay.
So let me answer one of the questions that came up. When Mrs. Scott found out about the piggybacking, we had also met in leadership having a discussion on what was the time frame of us getting buses delivered. The time frame of going past March 31st would have guaranteed no delivery for 2 years. What we wanted to do was maximize the dollars we currently had available to pull those dollars together to increase the fleet so that we could have the new buses in place before we got additional monies for local match, could utilize the grants which were being questioned because they were age grants from as far back as 2021 and 2016. So the overall goal for GPTC was not just to look at the expenditure, but what grants this was coming out of to get aging grants off the books, because typically you have run an organization that deals with the current grant, but you have not gone back and recruited grants and utilized those dollars from 2013 to current, which is why FTA is saying this is the first time in probably about 25 years that you have actually hit your grants on target.
That's great, but the only thing is that it was due March 31st. So
Well, it wasn't due from us March 31st. What we had a problem with was you were going to have long-term grants that were going to go out of date. That was one of the things. And what we were fighting for the debt, and when was that due? Honestly, before I got here. But when you are looking to how do you spend the money and get it spent and still make sure that FTA is in line with what we are expending, that was the goal. You know, and when we talked to the board about it, the board felt at that time what you want to do is get FTA off your backs as not being able to spend the money they're giving you and spending it appropriately. So that's another reason why you wanted to do a piggyback, because the state of Washington had an appropriate procurement process. We didn't cut any corners. We did what the Fed said. If they've got a better deal than you've got and can get it on and out faster than you can, that's what this is for. Utilize it.
well, I think my question is, because we didn't have time to properly, put out a bid process, things like that, how do we know we got the best deal?
You know you got the best bid because you have a national organization. We're not the only bus company in the country. So we compare those analysis. We compare the manufacturers. So when someone, I don't remember which board member, asked how much did the buses cost, those are national prices. That's not just coming because Gillick said that's my price. These are comparable prices throughout the nation. And that's what the staff looks at. We don't pull the numbers, and I'm not being facetious, Mr. Board Member Williams, when I say this. We don't pull the numbers out of the air. We actually look at the comparative analysis of what is the National Transportation Board looking like when you're talking about transit. What are the competitive numbers? When we get the grant from Volkswagen for $800,000, the reason they come back to us is because we have grounded our bidding process to ensure that we've got the best prices in moving forward. And it is comparable and reasonable across the nation. I have been able to call Michigan City and talk to Mayor Angie on a number of occasions to just say, this is what we're doing here. Can I talk to your person in transit? And we have those conversations. So we don't work in a silo. We work with conversation and work to align with the other buses across the country. On a monthly basis, we talk to Indigo. We've got Lafayette. We've got Bloomington. We've got Fort Wayne. We've got Terre Haute. And with all of those, we try to keep the mayor's office aligned with it, because when you're talking the intermodal, we want to make sure that The mayor's opportunity to seize additional dollars is always accurate with the competitive amount that's going to cost our state.
Love it. Okay. Can
Okay.
we?
And the person who's over the the state transportation in the assembly is Senator Crider, Crider. I have been meeting with him for the last 3 months to ensure that Gary Public Transportation is making the right moves at the right time. And if not, we're getting the assembly to look at what we're asking to say, is it out of shape? And so far, we've got nothing but a thumbs up. It looks like you all are moving in the right direction. What help do you need?
Okay.
So that's the lot. That's kind of the reasoning and the rationale, Board Member Williams and everybody else as well, to why it was very important for us to be able to buy new buses that would get in here before 2 years.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
No worries. No worries.
Can we see what other companies? Can we see that in transparency? Who you looked at, the other companies that you looked at, the other buses that you looked at, just to ensure that we got the right price, the lowest price. We would just like that, just in transparency. You can spread. Very good. Thank you so much. I would like to thank you for doing your due diligence, but I do want to see it. Sure.
So the other thing I want you to know, Board, is that we do not, nor does FTA tell us we need to go by lowest cost any longer. So please understand, when you're looking at that, let's have a discussion before you come to a conclusion. We no longer are driven by lowest cost. We are driven by issues like, if I tell you that the terrain on this Midwestern going over railroad tracks is going to kill my buses, please allow me to buy a higher price bus that can live more than 2 years at $1 million a bus.
That tells me that.
Say that again.
I would like a report that lets me know that.
We can do that.
Chose this bus because
We can do that.
This is our terrain. I would like all of that information. I would like a comprehensive report on why we're spending more money for a certain bus than another. I would like to know. Absolutely.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
And I would be the person to push that out to you because I would get that from my staff.
Excellent.
And this is completed though, right?
Big
The
part.
purchase is complete.
You've purchased? I'm sorry. You said you did?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We have purchased that. We were approved for the 7 million. We were approved that we had the local match, and we had the deadline of the end of March to get it done.
And you said you were approved. Who approved it?
The board had approved this back in December for us in November to move forward.
Okay.
To move forward. If they said if they approved us to move forward on looking at this process and putting the bus purchasing of new buses in place.
Was the amount approved? Like you?
Well, we didn't know the amount until after we put the bid out, so that probably was not. But what they said was we allowed the administrative staff to move forward with the costing, as opposed to not getting it because we didn't have a vote. So I think that's what you're asking. I don't know the answer to that in terms of what the thinking was. I know that they trusted us to do the best, make the best decision for the company and make sure that that was done in a timely manner. So, I mean, I don't have another way to go with that one, Board Member Williams.
Okay. So in November of 2025 or 2024?
2025.
Very good. In November of 2025, this was presented to the board for you all to start the process of purchasing new buses. But as far as the amount or anything like that, we weren't. We are now finding out the amount of the buses. Is that correct?
Well, yes, that might be correct. I have to check on that because we didn't get the amount until we found out what the piggyback was going to be. And just for clarity, so with that, the discussions were not just with us. We also had the discussion with the mayor because we wanted to ensure that when we got the dollars, which we got from ARPA, from the mayor, and he put that for us to use as we chose best on fleet. And so what we did was say, we can do this on fleet and do some things. These are the kinds of things we need to be in the budget on a regular basis. So we can strategize versus having to knee jerk when we have to make a decision to do something quickly. So that's the process that we had to go through. And we went with that process because genuinely, I would never ask someone to be a funder and not expect them to have information about what we're purchasing.
Yeah, because we don't really necessarily have the information.
Can't hear you, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. It's just that we don't necessarily have the information that we kind of would need as far as like comparisons, to know. Of course, we trust your judgment, but we definitely want to know that we're
Absolutely.
So we didn't have that information beforehand.
It's in your,
But we're getting it, but you've already made the purchase. Is what you're
Yes,
if
the
you,
purchase has been made.
saying. Mhm.
because of the size, you have to do a cost analysis. And with the cost analysis, it allows us to know how much money that we are allowed to spend on each one of the buses.
I think what Board or Secretary Williams is stating is that, yes, the information's in here, but these packets were just handed us today, minutes before the meeting actually started.
Right.
And so typically speaking, and I would have to look at the December, session that Director Dillard is talking about. But typically speaking, a board would say, yes, go forward with this, but the board would still need to approve the number before the purchase is made, typically speaking. Now, I'm not saying anything one way or another, but I think that's what she's after, is clarification on that. Did we give discretion on how much was going to be spent and say, spend whatever you think is best, or should that have come back to the board? I think that's what Secretary Williams is looking for here. And of course, information like this, when you have packets this thick, should be presented to the board more than 5 minutes in advance of when the executive session starts. So I
And
think,
we would agree to that. We definitely agree with that. Yeah, the last meeting that you had in 2025 was in November. That was your last meeting in
right.
November of 2025. So what we did was put the scenario to the board that in moving forward, was it your pleasure for us to move forward in trying to secure rolling stock? You had grants that were getting ready to close, aging grants. We had the AARP, and we wanted to make sure that we looked at all of those grants to say where they could be utilized. That was brought to the board. Because that was part of your aging stock. That was part of looking at what we had and how on a comparable amount of the amount to pay for the rolling stock, what were we going to do? How were we going to pay for it? That's what the board asked. The board can approve that you go on and get it. We've got to show you that you've got the money to get it. And that's what we did.
So where did our local match funds came from the city?
We had some of the our match funds came from the city. In 24, we were able to secure the 1 million, but almost 700,000, I think, that was spent. Mr. Fricky would have to hold me, or Mr. Washington, those numbers. But what we did have is 200,000 that we did not spend, which was not enough to buy a vehicle. So I had a meeting with attorney Carla Morgan, who then asked me to meet with the CFO, Salita Green, to put that in place. I talked with the chief of staff, who said, let's look at this. And the mayor said, basically, what do you need to do with this? And we said, let's just change it so that we have a little bit more flexibility in how we use this moving forward, because this is rolling stock specific. And he said, sounds good. Let's look at that. Let's look at it further to the other things that you want to do. And that's where we are right now. So we had those dollars. We were able to get certain dollars again from the county. And we move forward. And what the board And please let me understand this. You certainly, as a board, can say that you don't want anything to go through until you see the bottom number. Here's the drawback, and that's something that we'd have to work with collectively. I can't give you a reason to why you had so much aging money. I would venture to say because you didn't do anything until you had a board signature, and oftentimes you missed your deadlines. So we've got to work with that in a way that is not your feeling that you're giving the trust to your employee, because that's really what you end up having to do in some respects, but also trusting that if you want to do this, then you might need to be talking to each other more than once or twice a month.
For sure, I agree.
Okay? Because that is where you might have some standoff on that side.
So that makes complete sense. But one thing that I would like to throw out there is that, so if we're going to give the administration the discretion to do this, there should at least still be a report before the administration makes their decision, giving the board the opportunity to review it and say, we don't agree.
Okay, and you certainly can do that.
Yeah.
Certainly. Absolutely.
Yeah, so so just that way we have our system of checks and balances still in place while still giving you the discretion you need to get things through in time.
Absolutely. That is totally up to the board's pleasure. And, again, we don't do anything without going through FTA. We don't do anything without going through, the rankings. So, yes, you certainly, if you decide that you'd rather not have it so that your staff can report to you this is what is versus having that done first, and whatever that leads to, we can just work through it. So, I mean, that's not a problem I don't think that'll be a problem for anybody.
Okay, cool. Good, Secretary Williams?
So how much time do you all need to review this? 72 hours, 48 hours?
Well, it's already been done, hasn't it?
But it's
Yeah, they
still
still
going
want to see it
forward.
before provide approval from the board. So
Can I just say as the attorney, I am encouraging the board to do a formal vote and approve this. It's done. We needed to use the aging funds from the federal dollar, but it's absolute imperative with this kind of money that there has to be board approval of it.
Exactly.
And and you can retroactively approve it, okay? But my theory is if you don't approve it, then we can be audited by the feds and the FTA, and they can take back the funds. It's
Thank you, Attorney.
this
for making that,
level,
clear.
anything above a micro purchase or small purchases, what they call small purchases, have to come before the board to be approved. We spending money because it's just the law. It's the law under FTA Circular 4220, and it's the law under us. The local match dollars would be under Indiana law because we use local match money.
What do we
So
want to?
any usage of more than probably 50,000. I mean, but I've been trying to get all week. What is because Mr. often asked me what is the number that the board has allowed for purchases to be done without them coming before the board each and every time, so we can streamline the process. I think Miss, you said you thought it was 150, right?
350.
Oh, no, that 350 is the bid amount. That's not the board.
That's before it comes before the board, it's 350. That's what they agreed to.
So we
You said the
agreed to
board
So
agreed.
Simplified.
Yes.
Under the simplified
Yes.
acquisition, the threshold is 350,000.
Okay,
If we
because you told me
purchase
150,
seven-
but this is more than that amount, right? And under the FTA guidelines, technically, as of right now, is not approved by the board. So we need to approve it, is what I'm saying.
I would suggest that maybe we table this particular thing until at some point next week to give the board time to review it. and this is mostly a new board too. It's not the same board as it was November of last year. So maybe we table this until, Tuesday or Wednesday, and have an emergency executive session. And, 'cause I'm sure that there's some other things that are going to be tabled too by the end of the day.
So may I ask a question, board?
Yes.
ma'am.
Whether I don't understand what we're tabling exactly. Are you saying not to go forward with the purchasing of the buses? Because that's bridge has already been crossed.
Yeah.
So my question, and it was crossed with your approval to get buses into the system. It was, but I'm not understanding, and I'm not questioning your inabilities or abilities. I'm simply asking, what is the deliverable that you are trying to get to? Because I'm not hearing that.
The members of the board are looking to review the minutes from that November meeting so that everyone knows what the approval was that was presented. I believe with the current standing of the board, information of this stature and approval for purchases this large, they want to come before the board prior to things like that being completed. And what else?
Not to mention that this is legal counsel saying that that
and
there should be an actual approval.
And for pretty much all contracts that are going out for purchase to be reviewed by the attorney prior to them going out there.
Well, my concern is we've already pulled the trigger. We don't want to get audited and FDA say, okay, where's the board approval for $6,740,000 to use these funds, and we can't show it. And the minutes don't reflect it either, that I have in front of me. I am not saying don't do it,
So you're
I'm
looking at the
saying
November
we
minutes?
need to isolate ourselves and do business. That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Chair, can I speak to
It
this?
needs to be approved.
Yes, sir.
We are gonna be audited. It will come up in our annual audit. I have to submit all of the minutes every year to the audit for every meeting we hold. So the official minutes have to be, and they read every report.
Everyone. Right.
Because in those reports, the actions that the board took, and they look at those reports to look at the numbers and the financials to see if in the board minutes somewhere like incidents like this has been approved. So I agree with the attorney. We can approve this in retrospect, and it has to be. And if it's not an approval in the board minutes, then it is going to be an issue.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that information.
Thank you for clarity.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, going forward, prior to purchases being made, they need to appear before the board so that the board can have an understanding of the contract.
And those are purchases above the threshold, which is $350,000.
Well, and let me read from the minutes. Let me clarify that, because I know we have new board members, so everybody can understand. The procurement policy threshold adjustments, proposed changes, which these are the proposed changes that were passed in November. Micro purchases are from 3,000 to 10,000. Simplified acquisition is 150,000 to 350,000. Simplified acquisition just means that there's other ways that she can simplify the acquisition of getting things between that she doesn't have to go out for a bid anymore. Am I right? You don't have to go out for a sealed bid.
We don't have to go out for a sealed bid.
No.
There are exceptions. If you issue a RFQ or IFP or RFQ, it has to come before the board. Those acquisitions, because you have to advertise.
Right.
It depends on what it is that you're purchasing.
Right. And that's in obtaining the proposal, the quote, or whatever. That's simplified. But then the final action, for whatever the final action is, comes back to the board.
Which is why we approve, why the board approves the check register, the finance report every meeting, because the board has to approve the expenditures of public funds. And that's with all of them over a certain amount, and I just can't find it, but I know the interim general manager was given an amount that she could do for day-to-day things. I just can't find it to give to the board.
Yeah, this is-
What that amount is. However, this amount certainly have spending FTA funds and the local match dollars at this amount certainly should have come to a board vote. And it should have been on the agenda last month because you just did it, right? You just finished it in March. Yeah, so it should have been before the board last month. I am simply saying, so that we don't get in trouble, you guys, we need to do it. It's done now. It's done. We could be upset about it. We could say going forward, make sure everything comes to the board. You guys want it in advance. You guys can say whatever you want to say in terms of how you want the information, when you want the information, and make it clear to everybody here. But these kind of purchases, spending of public funds has to be voted on by the board of directors. It has to be. It should be signed by a board member as well. That's another thing. It should be signed by a board member because we have an interim general manager, and FTA can say she can't bind us, she can't bind the agency to a contract without board signature and board approval. So I am saying to you guys, we need to do it. I know y'all want to look at it longer, but it's done. It's done.
Well, now my question is this new information, knowing what the threshold was for purchases? Is this new? Did everyone know that? That we had, that anything over $350,000 needed to come before the board? I just want to know.
Under 350 needs to come before the board. The only thing is simplified, it's the simplified procurement of it up to $350,000. Board is still supposed to approve purchases really over a micro purchase. Over $10,000, the board should be approved.
So then my question still stands. Was this information already known? I do want to know that, because now I am expected to vote and say, yes, let's do that for auditing purposes when I don't have all the information necessary. And so that I'm going to now be held liable.
Right.
So I do want to know who knew, or was this known, that purchases need to be made.
That's
right.
I can't speak to that. What I can speak to in terms of timelines is the fact that the procurement staff had been actively looking for the best place to make vehicle purchases since September of last year. When we were able to sit down with Gillig to discuss our order, where we be getting buses from and how much, that was not until after the last board meeting. And we were told pretty much at that meeting on the 10th, the Washington State contracts, which are the lowest prices for buses in the entire country, ends March 31st. If we don't order by March 31st, we're going to have to wait, probably order through Florida or Virginia, and it would cost more money. We did get revised costs from Gillig on those buses that were lower than what we expected before we pulled the trigger on the 3 electrics. We were also told that anything with an internal combustion engine was going to take 2 years to be built. We need buses. So we just adjusted the mix at the recommendation of Ms. Dillard to go with 3 electrics, 2 hybrids. So we'd have electrics on site within a year. But the immediacy of the Washington contract is coming to an end on March 31st. We found that out on March 10th. So we had to make a monumental effort to make sure that we save money for the organization.
So Secretary Williams, I don't think is trying to dispute any of that. And it seems like you guys are trying to sell us on that. We don't need to be sold on it.
Okay.
What the board is saying is that, the number should have been put before the board. Those are the rules of procurement. Okay. And even if it's not the rules of procurement, it's basically common sense that we would vote on a number that large. And so what Secretary Williams is saying is that now we're being told, hey, it's too late. And if something was done wrong and we vote for it, not to say that there was, but we're talking general practice here. And it seems like there's a lot of things that aren't brought to this board in time. It's an every meeting occurrence.
Like you had a deadline.
Where we're not told things or information is received, and we're asked to vote on things that we don't have the information for. Now, most of the time it's tiny, so we do it. but this is a $3.5 million purchase. And so it's
Six.
6.5, I'm sorry, $6.5 million purchase. And if there was any mistakes made, now our neck's go on the chopping block and we didn't have the opportunity to review anything. So it's not a matter of trust. It's not a matter of you guys needing to sell this to us. This is a matter of protocol that's designed to protect everybody with the system of checks and balances that was not followed.
Yeah, so
So
whenever.
going forward, that'll be the expectation of the set. That if there's something that needs to come before the board that needs approval, we will need to see that prior to the meeting so that it can be approved. Otherwise, it likely will not be. For this matter tonight, we have to make a decision.
Even if you gotta
So
call,
we're-
can I say, even if you have to call, even if you guys need to call a special meeting or call the board president, have the board president do an executive session to talk to all of the board members so you can get a meeting scheduled.
Yeah.
If you come in here just to vote on the one thing, since you just found out about it, David, March 10th, and this we already, we're just in the beginning of April, so that didn't give a lot of time, and you had to spend funds by March 31st.
Yeah.
Even if you had to do a special meeting just to vote on it, right before March 31st, that would even have been sufficient. Might have even been able to get away with making a phone call to the president. He called the rest of the board members, see if they're gonna vote on it, they're okay with it, and then you could have voted on it today.
And
But some process needs to be done, because Mr. Washington is absolutely correct. They are gonna look through these minutes, they're gonna look at what we spend, because these are federal dollars, and it
And
has to be voted on.
we'll deal with that. We need to, because we got some other.
One more question for the counselor. Let's say that we did do it for 100 today,
Mhm.
based upon the agreement that we did in November. If the entire board would that grant her the authority to do what she wants without any of us? I'm not going to talk about.
No, it just will open up the whole agency, like I said, like Mr. Washington said, for being audited on it,
So it's the same
because
thing. If you
it doesn't matter, and it's not in the November minutes. But at some point, there was some discussion. I remember the discussion. I don't know what minutes it's in. But I do remember there was a discussion for her to proceed, start looking at it to try and get it done. I'm not disputing any of that. I'm just simply saying to save the agency, y'all. At
Yeah,
this
so
point now, we just need to
we'll-
go on
we'll-
and vote on it.
We'll
and
do
make it
that.
retroactive.
We're gonna do that. You can vote however you choose to vote. But at this time,
I mean, it's done.
I'll propose a motion to approve this purchase for $6.5 million of these vehicles for the procurement department.
Let procurement tell you exactly what it is, because we need to really be specific. Exactly the amount that she's requesting for approval for the purchase. So it's very specific.
It's on the front. It's on the,
So this is this the 6.29512?
The total, we need the
Uh,
total.
$6,290,512.
This time I propose a motion to approve $6,290,512 for the procurement department to finish this purchase of these 5 vehicles
On piggyback.
on piggyback. Any second.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Please call for the vote.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
was that a yes?
Yes.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Goffin.
Yes. Motion carries. Is that it for your procurement report? I know we.
She said, well.
You don't have any other surprises for us, do you?
Well, yeah, well, we have the financial audit, recommendation for the financial audit.
That has not been approved.
That has
Yeah,
not been approved.
Has
That
not
was
been.
for the
that has
55,000.
not been-
It's not been-
And we still want that report for that
I
procurement.
think you can-
Okay, so the financial audit, right, is this 54.5 for financial audit services for Crow, right? Okay. when is the deadline for approval on this?
I mean, you have time. It's
Okay.
not, it has nothing, it has to be, contract to be issued at this point.
Okay, so send us the information for this so that they can review it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's in your
so
packet.
everybody,
I have it.
It's in
yeah,
that.
let
packet.
everybody review it. We'll table it for now so that everybody has the opportunity to review it.
Yeah.
And then we will come back with the determination for your approval after that.
So we're going with this company because we've always gone with them.
Well, they have a history and they would only be.
They don't bid this.
So we don't even have another bidder
Why you ain't
to
comparing
approve.
You don't, you can only compare it to their
To the
last year,
people
it's in
who-
there.
Mhm.
Last year, they only, last 4 years.
They're the only one that submitted a,
How are we getting that information out that we're taking?
We put it on the website, we, the vendors called, we had a list of
I didn't
vendors
see
that
it. It's in here. It's one-
requested
it's the
the
procurement,
bid
but
package,
it's,
they just did not.
It's the last
it's the-
Okay.
Yeah, no, because she said that it was handed to us after, so it's.
Oh, I
that's the
see
thing we've
that.
been passing
Responses
around.
received, one.
That's the thing we've been passing around.
It was issued January 22nd. Gave them a month.
Yeah.
To get a proposal in.
Correct.
Okay, and you only had one response received. And then you put this information out on your website, and then you have a list of vendors, but you're expecting people to automatically know.
We contacted them,
Okay. And they just weren't
they
interested.
just did not respond.
Oh, this financial audit. Oh, got it. Oh, the financial audit.
See, that information is the type of information, that information is the type of information that, I'm looking for. I need to know that, how did we come to this one person that we received? Well, we contacted so many vendors, we contacted 5. We contacted them on this date, and then, this is the only one that responded. That's the type of information, that's a comprehensive report that I can do something with. What are you saying? It's okay. Oh, here you go. Thank you. I didn't get a chance to look over it.
We'll send it back. I
I'll
just
get
need
you
to glance at it
copies.
quickly.
Okay, well, can we
You
make sure,
have time.
make sure this gets sent to everyone so that everybody has the opportunity to review it. And then we will I'll make a motion to table this until our next executive session.
And that was for the auditor?
For Crow Financial Audit Software.
Okay.
I need a second.
Second. And I'm sorry, which one?
Ms. Wood,
Thank you.
any discussion?
I just hear two voice.
Seeing none and hearing none.
I'm gonna make mine do.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Williams,
Yeah.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries. Is that it? Procurement?
Is it for procurement?
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
We wanted operations, right?
he had to leave, to go pick up his grandson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we've been here for a while.
It was
Yeah.
Ms.
David.
Dillard, Mr. Wright is saying that we can read his report. Are you okay with that?
If you are good with it, Mr. Goffin, I'm fine.
Yeah, we've been here for a while, Mr. Dillard. I don't want to hold your people up too long. Is there anything you would like to highlight? I know you have a lot of things that go on, but if there's anything specific you'd like to highlight.
Ridership steady, annual reports are being completed, service changes are being finalized, bike share deployment is underway right now,
Okay.
and we already know about the buses.
What's our strongest route currently? I want to go ride a bus.
Right now, our strongest route is the BMX. It's the
BMX.
second, it's the most efficient route, transit route in Northwest Indiana, including the South Shore.
Let's go for it. Let's
Ms.
go
Dillard,
for
I'm riding the bus to work one day next week, okay?
Yeah, let's go on a field trip. That sounds like fun.
I don't think I've been on since the 4th of July, so.
Yeah.
I took my kids out to the beach on the 4th of July, so I'm just trying to get, just to ride.
Yeah.
Um,
It'll be fun.
this time I'll entertain a motion to accept I'm sorry, Ms. Dillard, do you have anything else for department reports? I'm sorry.
No, I do not. Thank you.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the departmental reports as presented. Been moved and properly second. Call for the vote, please. Any discussion? Vote, please.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Williams,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries. Thank you all for your diligence tonight, for being with us this late. We had a lot of discussion to go on, so thank you so much for sacrificing that time to be here with us. At this time, we'll move to our old business. We've got staff recommendation for employee group health insurance. That is what Mr. Washington reported out on with the cost change. We've had several meetings to be educated on the cost change. We know that there was just an inevitable change to it. There was some negotiation that got us that $50,000 technical decrease so that the price comes down for us. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the employee group health insurance.
So motion.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Roll call. You got discussion?
No, the only thing I was going to say is that, again, good if the board gets things like this with enough time to actually read it and go through it. So I think this could have been handled a little bit better. There might have been some opportunity for competition. So.
I think that was in your first package that she presented.
Well, that was today.
No, that's the
No,
final package.
There was
She
another
presented
one
that in
where
the
they had the
estimate
emergency
up front.
meeting about a month ago. that Only Mr. Goffin and Mr. Dennis were involved in. Emails.
That's
were-
why. Okay. Yeah. Well, it probably could have been like, just for efficiency purposes, sent to the, shared drive or something so we could all look at it.
We may work on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's good if we all get to see it. That's kind of the only thing that I'm adding.
That'll also cut down our discussion.
Right.
Yes.
So we're good on health insurance. Did we finish that?
We didn't say yes.
We did not vote on
Okay,
it.
roll call.
Goffin,
Yes.
Member Williams,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Abstain.
We have 3 yeses, 1 abstention.
Motion carries. This time we'll move into new business, the staff recommendation for financial audit services. We've already tabled that. The staff recommendation for the transit buses, we have already handled that as well. I believe Mr. Ruby has an extensive list for new business.
Yeah, we have an extensive list. So we wanted to do a motion to table our collective bargaining agreement.
So motion.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second to
Table the collective bargaining agreement.
table the collective bargaining agreement until the review is completed, at which time we will appoint someone to serve when we get into negotiations. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries.
All right, next up, so we want to do a motion to create a standing rule that all contracts, agendas, and deadlines are presented to the board, either preferably by our shared drive, at least 72 hours in advance of any executive sessions.
So motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
Please end.
I will, to fill in, after having discussion this evening, there needs to be time for the board to review what's going to be placed in our report so that if there are things that need approval and there are questions about it, there can be time presented for our questions to return to the GM so that we can have any discussion that needs to be had with her so that that information can be had and the board members can be educated to what needs to happen during those meetings. So the standard that will be created is 72 hours prior to the board meeting. The board reports need to be into the board.
And then we'll be prepared and it won't take us so long. Attendance, roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up, motion to have management find a firm for an executive search for a new general manager and a comptroller
Within.
within 30 days. Is that what we agreed? I think 30 days. Yeah, within 30 days. That's something else, yeah.
So motion. Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. For discussion on this part, we have had several mentions of the process to begin the search for a general manager. We've been advised that there was a motion that was put through previously that we don't know what happened to it. It's been inquired several times by board members and other officials where that process is. So this is not us terminating anybody's contract at all. This is just us putting out there to begin that process to find a firm who will facilitate that process going forward. And yes, and we want to return on the facilitation of that process within 30 days. Any further discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Williams,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries.
Next up, motion to put this board on bi-weekly executive sessions pending the completion of all the improvements that we're trying to add. So whenever that may be, indefinitely.
Motion. So motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? For department heads, this also gives us the opportunity to review information that you may need the board to approve without us having to wait till our first of the month executive session. So we are adding in another executive session so that everybody can gather, the board at least can gather to review whatever information we need to review, so that way we can hopefully continue moving forward without having to wait another month to get you approved on things that you may need approved.
And also he's back in town. I'm here so late.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Williams,
Yes.
Secretary Johnson.
I'm secretary.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. 4 yeses.
All right, so next, it's an extensive list, folks, sorry.
Let's go. Come on. Let's
Yep.
keep going.
So motion for the board to find and hire an administrative assistant for the general manager.
So motion. Second.
It has been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none. Roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Williams,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries.
Next, motion to rescind termination of an employee that was terminated in our last meeting and place the employment on a last chance agreement.
Yeah, this employee will remain on short-term disability, not instated to full duty.
So motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, roll call.
Secretary Johnson. I got it.
backwards. Secretary Williams. Sorry. That's okay.
It's late.
I know, Secretary Williams.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Goffin.
Abstain.
3 yeses, 1 abstention.
All right,
Motion
next,
carries.
yep, sorry. Next up, motion to set a hearing for same set employee that we've just
Say that again.
motioning to have a session for a hearing for the same set employee.
So motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. For matter of discussion, this will be to hear the appeal and evidence presented before the board for that termination hearing. Roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Yes. No problem.
Motion carries. You can tell we've all been here
Yeah,
for
we've
a
been
while,
here for-
right?
4:30.
All right, so next motion, there's not too many left, I promise. Motion for management to provide the board with all CFA reports for the last 6 months, as well as, we'll just merge this into 2, the total parts inventory for GPTC, and we would like to have that within 1 week.
So motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
I'll explain this one out. So basically, we're working on a deal which will provide us with another parts agreement or replace any current parts agreements that we have with a new model of procurement. And before we sit down and have the meeting with this individual and discuss it, we want to have an idea of what we're purchasing from month to month so we can let them know and negotiate the best deal, if that's what ends up happening.
Okay.
Anything you want to add?
No. Any further discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin, Member Ruby,
Yes.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries.
Next one, motion to ensure that all board members have scanner cards that access every door in every facility within the GPTC. And we need that within 30 days.
So motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Motion carries.
All right, motion for management to provide this board with a copy of the warranty for the roof on the 35th Avenue facility. All right, and we need that within a week.
I think we already provided that to the attorney when we first took the roof on the environment to be, because that's how we knew we had a warranty and what the timeline was for it to expire. So.
It's the same one you sent me, right? I emailed it to you guys tonight, but I don't know if there was something more specific you want after.
Okay, you said you sent it to us tonight?
I emailed
Okay, I haven't checked my email yet tonight. Okay, so we can skip that. Okay, and finally, last one, motion for 1-day suspension for an employee that was insubordinate and disrespectful today to board members.
So motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
Actually, it's a 1-day unpaid suspension, just to, clear that up.
Any further discussion?
Yes. I would just like to say that we are happy to be here. We want to work with everyone. We are looking for alignment and not versus. So just having the understanding of who we are, knowing why we're here is important for all of us. And moving forward, we want to, get along with each other. And it's very important that we respect each other. So that's my only thing that I have to say to that. And it doesn't matter if you're an authority or not. It is just respect person to person. That's all.
100%. Any further discussion? Hearing none, sitting on roll call.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
and Member Johnson.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Okay. We need are we doing? No, we have to.
Oh, motion carries.
So there's another motion. We have another
I
motion.
believe that's it.
Motion to present, escalate.
Oh, yes, yeah, yep, absolutely. Yeah, so, we want to do a motion, asking management to present us with a report on the escalator repairs, what all's been paid for and done, and what, has yet to be done.
All the information.
Thank you for that.
I started that process today. I sent the attorney, the information on Cone Company as to what was purchased and, the cost of it. Ms. Scott is sending me the, procurement information, and she emailed that to me this afternoon. I'll provide that to you tomorrow.
I need
So
everything.
I've already
Contact
responded to that.
who would contact person words that spoke with them, who let them know that they didn't do it properly, like any emails, any correspondence, what they've said back, if they refuse to come back and finish it. I need all of that. in
Within
order
1 week.
to make them
No,
compliant.
I'll provide you whatever I got in the business office, with what I did today, and the procurement information that she has, and as far as emails and things, there were no emails out of my office to the Cone. I don't know about Ms. Scott, but if she has some, she'll certainly provide you with that information.
Okay, and I'll also speak to Mr. Pruitt. He was the one who brought it to my attention in the first place. That wasn't working, asked me to look into it. So I don't know if he's had any conversation with him, but I need everything in order for us to pursue getting our money back. If they're not gonna fix it.
That's not something we're motioning today, is it?
All right.
Okay.
Well, we have.
So you'll have the, with whatever.
I'll have,
information
right,
is
I'll
possible.
have, like I said, I talked with, attorney, Gibson today. We talked for about 30-45 minutes, and she shared what she needed, the, paid for the board insurance and officers. I gave her that. And I compiled the information on Cone that we had in the business office, the payment, the invoices, the, requisitions. I think, if we didn't have it, I'll send it. But I'm getting the actual procurement information that went out to, solicit repairs on this and to provide that information also. So, I started that process, like I said today, in response to what the attorney asked me for.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah, I got some stuff already.
Pictures, a motion.
We don't need a motion for that. Mr. Wright, whoever set up the photos for board members before, can we make sure that those are set up?
I'll work with, Ms. Scott to make sure I have those.
And I think that you did that before.
So if I need to do it, just let me know. Give me the point of contact and I can set it up. Or just, yeah. Anything else for new business?
So there is something that I want to bring up in new business, in lieu of, some misunderstandings as far as, what the board members are and are not allowed to do, pertaining to visits to facilities over the last couple of days. I want to take a moment and actually read to everybody, because there's been some misunderstanding what the actual law and rules state as far as what board members are and are not allowed to do when it comes to visiting facilities and things like that. Under the Indiana Code 36-9-4-14, the Board of Directors of a public transportation corporation is the governing body vested with the exclusive executive and legislative power of the corporation. This authority includes the right to oversee all operations, inspect facilities, and question management. An interim director, even under an independent employment contract, remains a subordinate agent of the board and cannot legally restrict the board's oversight activities.
With that being read at this moment, want to clarify that it is this board's position, essentially, that due to the current standing of the corporation, the final governance comes through the board in essentially all matters. And that the board has final approval of all matters. And going forward, that will be the process that the board chooses to move in. But I will reiterate that my stance is this board is not here specifically to discipline people. We need to, one, begin with building relationships with the people that we are set to govern. And if we can build relationships with the people that we are set to govern, then we will go in the right direction, as long as we maintain that those relationships are growing positively, which means that we also have to be an example of the culture that we want to see. So going forward, if I am seen in the place that has anything to do with GPTC, I will be there to make sure that the working environment is what you want it to be, to promote morale, to do things of that nature. Because if there is something that needs to be addressed, I am not coming to an employee. I will always go to the GM, because that is who this board needs to hold accountable for whatever actions are happening of the people they supervise. So during executive session, the conversation was had that the board's decision is that you may see them throughout multiple facilities at random times. This time we will move to public comment.
Meeting to the board. I just got a couple of issues, well, questions. I just wanted to ask you, the board, are you still thinking about planning on running the L4 over the Big Daddy's barbecue?
That is the current setup for that service change, which we mentioned earlier. Who would do that?
And I know I asked you this question before about the Saturday service. Do you see yourself getting any money where you can start Saturday service by the end of the year?
We will see what local match hall comes in, and then I'll try to make a recommendation and see what happens. See if we can afford it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lord's will. I guess there'll be my 56th birthday. It's coming.
Oh, happy birthday.
Any other public comment? Any other board comment?
No.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
A second, so moved.
Whatever it takes, let's go.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for everything. You need signatures?
On the gift that you all from the book.
I don't think we